Hello again, music fans. I am back here for another music video, this time for ranking the albums of the first heavy metal band of all time, Black Sabbath, the one that influenced everybody. Alright, so I'm going to rank them here as my own personal favorites. This is my own personal list. And I did go back and listen to all of the albums, just to get a fresh listen. I didn't want to just go from memory. So let's get started. I'll go from my least favorite to my favorite, and my least favorite in this case would be the last album with Tony Martin, which is Forbidden. Alright. None of the Black Sabbath albums I actively dislike or hate, but this one, it just sounds a bit weak. The compositions are not that memorable, and some of the artistic choices here are questionable, like putting in some rap lyrics and all that. Okay, so Forbidden, that comes in at the bottom of my list. The next two should come as no surprise because they are usually seen as the Aussie era albums that are just not up to par. First, we'll go with Never Say Die here. Okay, and then Technical Ecstasy. These are the two albums that were made with Ozzy during the 70s, and after these two, he left to make, or rather he was kicked out, depending on which version you've read. And well, he started his own very successful solo act. From here on up, all of these albums I really like. I just had to put them in some sort of order. So none of these are bad. Starting here with the 7 Star, Tony Iommi featuring, or rather, a Black Sabbath featuring Tony Iommi, as it says on the cover. Some good stuff here. No Stranger to Love, In for the Kill. Really good stuff. Alright, but there's other albums that I like a bit better. For instance, The Eternal Idol, right here with Tony Martin on vocals. I am a big fan of this era. The Shining, Born to Lose, Nightmare, great songs. Now this one, you might be surprised that it's so low on the list because it's in one of the classic era albums, which is Sabotage. All right, and I do like this album, but there are others that I like a lot better. Okay, right here, the only one that I really think are Hole in the Sky and Symptom of the Universe are the songs that I really gravitate to. This next one also, you might be surprised to find it so low on the list, which is Dehumanizer here with the Heaven and Hell lineup. Okay. Some pretty good songs here, right? Very heavy album. But even so, I would prefer Cross Purpose. It's another Tony Martin era album. Really melodic, heavy, doomy. And now an album that I would rank much higher on this listing if only the production were better. Because the album, just the sound of it is just it sounds like mud. That's Born Again, the soul album with Ian Gillan on vocals. Here it says here remastered, and this is my Castle remastered edition, but it's not remixed. What we need is a remix of this album. Alright, because there's a lot of good stuff here. Practically from beginning to end. And usually I don't let the production of an album affect me, in my liking of it. But in this case, it's so bad that it really does. Every time I hear it, it always just jars me. Another one that you may be surprised is so high on the list, which is Black Sabbath 13, their last studio album. I recently re-listened to this again. I hadn't listened to it since I had bought it, and it's really, really good. Everything. Even the bonus tracks on the bonus disc. It's a really good album. Very doomy, but not plodding. After that, the debut, Black Sabbath, which I have right here also on vinyl. Okay. A classic. The title track, of course. You know, Behind the Wall of Sleep, NIB. Classic tracks. Then from the Tony Martin era, one I only have on cassette. I really have to get on this on CD. It's Headless Cross. A really, really good album. Heavy, memorable songs, doomy. Now we really start getting into the Ozzy era here with Black Sabbath Volume 4. Okay. And Master of Reality. There you go. Master of Reality, of course, got Sweet Leaf, After Forever, Lord of this World, Children of the Grave. Great stuff. Another that you may be surprised to find so high on this list, Black Sabbath Tear. Almost a concept album with this Norse mythology theme. From beginning to end, just great, great songs, great compositions, great melodies. You know, a lot of people don't like this one because it's not as heavy, and it's got some keyboards in it that are more prevalent. But this is just a great album. I've loved this. Is, by the way, when I first got into the CDs, this was the first that I bought. This is 30 years old. Bought this when it came out in 1990. And it still plays great. After that, Black Sabbath Paranoid, you know. What can you say? War Pigs, Paranoid, Iron Man. And these last three, all of them could be number one. In fact, even Paranoid, you know. But I had to put them in some order. Black Sabbath Mob Rules. Second album with Ronnie Dio. Just great stuff. Title track, Voodoo, Sign of the Southern Cross, just mystical, heavy, doomy. And firing on all cylinders, of course, Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. Title track, Lonely is the Word, Neon Nights, everything. Everything is classic here. And my number one pick would be Sabbath, the Bloody Sabbath. All right, very progressive at times, great songs, you know, unusual songs, because right here, the only one that is, shall we say, the known song, the hit, is the title track, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. But the rest of the album is just so eclectic, but at the times very, but also very memorable. You know, I really, really enjoy this album. And I do want to get a remaster of this because the sound is a bit weak here on my Warner Brothers one. But even so, great, great album. That's my number one pick. For now, you know, because as I made the list like about 3 times, and I changed positions and I listened again, you know, so if I listen to them again, I'm probably going to change them again. But that's how it is for now. Black Sabbath, one of my favorite bands. Here I have my t-shirt with the first album cover. All right. Thank you very much for watching, and so long.